Greetings all you maniacs and minds on our crimes. Welcome back to another Warframe weapon showcase. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Tenent Arca Plasmor, almost called the Arca Titron, in Steel Path. So we briefly looked at it in the last video, but today I want to take it into Steel Path, and yes, I will be using Nidus, and yes, I will be using Teeming Virulence. It only gives critical chance, but anyway, this is the build I'm going to be running. So, okay, so I have critical deceleration here. With Shotgun Spaz basically negates the negative of this. This weapon with minus, what is it? Yeah, 0.8 fire rate is not fun. Galvanized Savvy for the condition overload type effect. Primary Deadhead is almost maxed. I need 5 more arcanes. I'm getting there. I'm getting really lucky. Corrosive, heat, and radiation, because this thing comes with radiation. I am also going to be, of course, bringing my Panzerwolfophyla, who's going to be spreading viral everywhere. Anyway, so real quick again with the Nidus build, here it is. My Umbral Nidus literally cannot die. And we will go into the Steel Path. Now, this is totally realistic because you are going to be using Warframe and Warframe buffs, Warframe abilities, everything at your disposal in Steel Path and higher level content to kill the enemies as fast as you can. It's only natural. Alright. I could have used Garuda because she would have been be able to like slash the enemies, and also I got the Helmuth buff on her that's more critical chance and reload speed for primary weapons, which is that's just fantastic. I love that so much. I got that for 7 days. It's great. Okay, now time to get my stacks going. I need a volunteer. Thank you. Yeah, look at this. That's a lot of damage. Like, I don't know about you, but that's a lot of damage. At least I think that's a lot of damage, right? So I think the critical chance is like 110-ish%. I don't know. Someone do the math out there. It has 66% crit. I'm giving it 230%. I want to say that's like what, 120% critical chance or something. And this Nidus build also doesn't have, like, you know, the most amount of power strength in existence. There could be more power strength. If I was boosted by an Equinox or I had full power strength build, I'm just going to do this to build my stacks up just for convenience. I have a decent amount of range on my 2. I should probably put more duration on my range, but duration on my build, but doesn't really matter. Remember to always put the larva near a wall so you can spam. Yeah. Okay, get my minions out. They'll be doing toxin damage. Although they don't proc any toxins, so I will not be getting extra damage from Shotgun Savvy, Galvanized Savvy. Or basically Shotgun Condition Overload. Yeah, but look at this. This damage is incredible. This shotgun is so satisfying. I don't even really like to call it a shotgun. It's more of a fucking cannon. The Plasma Hucker. Now, it's not just the weapon buffs that's doing this. It's also the fact that this thing has pretty high stats. Like, this thing has a lot of damage. Like, 12,000 damage total. Now, that is split amongst other damage types. So, you got to keep that in mind. Even so, though... give me you. Did my cat really just kill a Steel Path enemy by himself? Probably. I mean, the Panzer can do that. Yeah, believe it or not, the Panzer is actually capable of killing Steel Path enemies by himself. Hans is an animal. And also keep in mind that a lot of these enemies are actually weak to radiation. So, Yeah, I have heat on the weapon if you're curious. It's something like 30% heat. It's not maxed because it doesn't matter. The difference is literally like 10 damage. But I have all the mods going. I have all my stacks going for my arcane. Getting headshots. Even though this thing doesn't really have a headshot multiplier, but it still does a lot of damage. So yeah, per shot, I'm seeing multiple procs of over like 7,000 damage each shot. I don't know about you. Also, I see procs of way over 7,000 damage. Like, let's just shoot one enemy once and see the damage. Yeah, it's so many procs of like 20k damage, especially when they're hit by viral. I don't know about you, but I think that's pretty strong. And also, this thing it's so satisfying. I would definitely recommend getting this weapon. Well, actually, in fact, all of the Tenant weapons are worth getting in my mind. They're all good. I think the Cycron is the only one that's only kind of but this thing's good. The Diplos, I'm doing a video on these things because holy shit, they've become my favorite pistols. They're so good. Alright. When Mr. Acolyte arrives, he is going to get kicked in the teeth because Nidus doesn't give a shit, and neither does my Panzer. It's a lot of damage. It's a lot of damage. I'm gonna let my little minions run around. There, I got all my stacks back up. Okay, it's Angst. Yeah, I don't know about you, but I think that's pretty powerful, right? I mean, right? I'm not crazy here. Keep in mind, the Acolyte can only be, is pretty resistant to statuses, all things considered, and they have a lot of HP and armor. And it was killing that dude that quickly. Yeah, that's pretty strong. I'm actually going to go for 10 minutes because I don't want this to be like a super short video. I know I gotten my point across, but I also want to go longer because I want to fight another Acolyte. I love Nidus so much. Easily one of my favorite frames to play in Steel Path. He's just so much fun. I seriously cannot get enough of this shotgun. Every single shotgun in the game now is ridiculous because of how shotguns are. They're, pellets and everything. Well, this thing doesn't have that. This is a more sophisticated shotgun, shoots plasma and not like buckshot. But either way, it's very, very strong. Yeah. So, gotta wait a little bit for the next Acolyte to arrive. And when he does, hopefully it's not Malice because he's Mr. Mag Bubble. It will ruin my day. He will get his shit kicked in. Now, there are some downsides to this thing. One is the rate of fire isn't like the fastest, but I mean, it's a pump action. So, what'd you expect? You're not going to get like comb levels. That looked cool. You're not going to get like comb levels of rate of fire here. And the second is the reload speed. 3 seconds is a bit long. Especially for such a small mag. You think that the reload speed would be like 2 seconds? Also, there's that. Getting knocked over is really annoying. I basically one-shot everything in there. I think I missed one of them. That's why they didn't die. Yeah, you can do some trick shots with this too. Fire it around a corner, quite literally, like it curves around the corner. If it's like a If you like shoot around a wall, it looks awesome. Okay, so the buff has run off for the critical chance, but as you see, it doesn't matter. This thing has a 66% chance to crit with all the multi-shot. It's shooting like maybe 5 waves, I think. I don't know. It's firing enough to where crits are basically guaranteed. Now, you can get really, really unlucky and not crit at all. Well, that was a bad tether because that one's gonna die real soon. Let's activate life support because, you know, why not? These guys can't do anything to me, so. I mean, they can kill me eventually, but, you know, the thing with Nidus is that his passive is really, really broken. He just literally cannot die. As long as you have stacks, you are not dying. And I would have to stay a very long time. I'm talking like an hour for it to start to matter. Also, I'm not doing that. Who cares about going against level cap? Basically, nobody does. Most Warframe players do a mission and get it over with as fast as they can. A lot of people don't normally stay in survivals for, say, 20 minutes a day or something. I do, however. I do disruption. I do high-level content. The Kuva Liches. Not Kuva Liches. I will do those again soon for the Kuva hack. But the Sisters of Parvos. This thing obliterates them, especially if your Sister Parvos happens to be weak to radiation. If they're like immune to radiation, then that kind of sucks. But still, the damage is so high that it won't matter. And for their little minions, their little dogs, it really won't matter because you'll just destroy them. I'm pretty sure the dogs have alloy armor anyway. I mean, they are Corpus, so usually when Corpus have armor, it's alloy. I got my fucking shotgun yoinked. Can you not? Okay, here's the next guy. Mania. LOL. Okay. That's good. I don't need to show anymore. That's just so much damage. Think about how much damage this shotgun is actually doing. You've got, I'm assuming, 4, 5 waves, all with a 66% chance to crit. With Nidus, it's like a 120-ish, 130-ish% chance to crit. You have a decently high critical multiplier. You have 100% status, over 100% status. You got 12,000 base damage with everything added up. Really? Primary and secondary dexterity? Why? Man. That's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. Anyway. That's the Tenent Arca Plasmor. All I gotta say is, holy fuck, this thing hits like a truck. Also, yeah, I would recommend you put on galvanized acceleration for this thing because you basically turn it into a sniper rifle. Not that this thing has like low range without it. That's decent, but you know, it's so much better. Also, another good thing about this weapon is the waves are huge. These are big boy waves. They hit a lot of targets at once. Which makes me think they could probably buff the primary catch moon to give it bigger waves, because that thing still hits pretty hard. It's just the waves are kind of small. Either way, you can build this thing however you want. If you want it to go against infested, you can use this build. You can use the viral build or whatever. You can use gas on it. And the raw damage of this thing is just going to floor everything in the game. The only things this thing will not kill very quickly are things that aren't very immune, that are like immune to status. So there's certain enemy types in the game, certain enemies that you find very rarely, aka bosses, that don't really care for statuses. Some of them anyway. If you have this thing with innate magnetic, and well, that's just deletion for corpus because you have magnetic destroying their shields. I assume you would have heat, then you would have radiation, and then you would have like viral on there. Or if you're going against Grineer, you would have corrosive, but the magnetic wouldn't be doing anything other than giving this even more damage. So, but the problem with that, to me, there really is no room to have that going on here, unless you want to get rid of like the crits, which you can. That's fine. Either way, primary deadhead is not 100% required, although it does give it even more damage. Although primary merciless would be very, very fantastic on this weapon because the reload speed buff. Unfortunately, it's only for 4 seconds, and I hate that. DE, this would not break the game if this was 20 seconds. Like, you know, all the others. Look at this, 24 seconds. 24 seconds. This is 24 seconds. Anyway. So, I absolutely love using this shotgun. It feels so much fun. Feels so good. It just slams everything to pieces. It's great. There is a unforeseen consequence to using this weapon, though. If you play Necros a lot, you won't be able to desecrate corpses because there won't be any. Because when you kill something with this, it deletes it from existence. So you don't get the chance to desecrate the corpse. But that small hiccup aside, it's amazing. Now, you could say, well, you could have even more damage by putting, that prime charge shell on there. I'd rather have the status chance because this is actually, like per shot of the gun. So I'm hitting, I'm guaranteed status every single time, and this is actually probably higher than that because multi-shot. So let me know your thoughts of the new Arca Plasmor. Serious upgrade. The old Arca Plasmor was very powerful for a while, and then it kind of fell off at higher levels. Not its fault. It's probably pretty powerful now, but this one just, it ricochets, and yeah, I have 37% heat. This thing ricochets, so that's a lot of fun. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and remember, in Trilby, we trust.